Let me ask you something. Do you really want to get better? Not just wish for it, not just talk about it, but truly have the desire to improve? Because everything starts with that desire. Personal growth is not something that just happens. It is something that must be wanted. It starts with a deep, burning desire to improve, to become more than what you are today. Without this desire, no amount of knowledge, opportunity, or resources will make a difference. The first step to real change is deciding that where you are is not where you want to stay. Now think about it. Every major breakthrough in life, whether personal or professional, begins with someone saying, "I need to be better." It is the realization that there is more out there, that there is a higher level to reach. But here's what stops most people. They kind of want it. They think, it would be nice to have a better life, or I wish things were different. But wishing is not desire. Desire is when you wake up thinking about it. And desire is when you can't ignore it anymore. You see, growth isn't automatic. Just because time is passing doesn't mean you are improving. A person can live the same year over and over again, making no real progress, simply because they never developed the urge to change. But when someone has that strong inner drive, everything starts shifting. They begin looking for ways to grow, learning from their mistakes, and making better decisions. The truth is, nothing in life will change until you want it badly enough. If you are comfortable with where you are, you won't do what it takes to grow. Comfort is the enemy of progress. People stay in the same job for years without advancing, stay in the same routines without improving, and live the same struggles without breaking free. Not because they lack the ability, but because they lack the desire to make a serious change. Desire fuels everything. It fuels learning. It fuels persistence. It fuels action. Without it, people give up at the first sign of difficulty. The moment something gets uncomfortable, they back off. But when the desire is strong enough, quitting is not an option. A person with real desire doesn't stop when things get tough. They find a way forward. Now here's an important truth. Desire alone won't make things happen, but it is the foundation for everything else. You can teach someone the best strategies for success, but if they don't want those strategies mean nothing. On the other hand, if someone truly has the desire to improve, they will find a way. They will seek out knowledge. They will look for mentors. They will take action, even when the path isn't clear. There is a difference between interest and commitment. A lot of people are interested in getting better. They're interested in making more money. They're interested in being healthier. But when the desire is weak, excuses take over. They'll say, "I'll start next week. I just don't have time. It's too hard." But when someone is truly committed, they don't wait. They don't make excuses. They find a way to get started, no matter how small the step. And here's the thing, desire is a choice. If you sit around waiting to feel inspired, if you make that choice, then everything else starts falling into place. So if you have the choice, when the desire is strong enough, obstacles don't matter, time doesn't matter, resources don't matter. The only thing that matters is figuring out a way to move forward. Every great success story began with someone who refused to settle for less than they were capable of. And that refusal, that deep hunger to grow, it's what separates those who achieve from those who only dream. Success is not about making one giant leap. It is about taking small, consistent steps in the right direction. Too many people get stuck waiting for a breakthrough, thinking they need a massive change overnight to see progress. But real growth doesn't work that way. It happens gradually through small decisions, small habits, and small efforts repeated over time. Think about it. No one becomes a champion in a day. No one becomes a millionaire overnight. No one builds a great body after one workout. But what happens when you improve just a little bit every single day? Over time, those small improvements compound into something life. Take a person who reads 10 pages of a book every day. Doesn't seem like much, right? But in a year that's 3,650 pages. Roughly 15 to 20 books. Imagine how much more knowledgeable, how much sharper. Or consider someone who decides to exercise for just 15 minutes a day. That's not a dramatic, life-altering commitment. But in a year, that adds up to over 90 hours of exercise. That's enough to completely transform their fitness. Compare that to someone who keeps waiting for the perfect time to start working out and does nothing. The same principle applies to finances. If someone saves just $5 a day, that's $150 a month or $1,800 a year. Compound that over a decade with interest, and suddenly they have a significant financial cushion, all from a simple daily habit. Meanwhile, someone else might keep telling themselves, I'll start saving when I make more money. And years go by without progress. And most people fail to see how powerful these small actions are because they don't notice immediate results. They try something for a few weeks, don't see a major difference, and quit. What they don't realize is that big results come from small actions done consistently, not all at once. There's a concept called the 1% rule. If you get just 1% better every day, by the end of the year, you won't be 365% better. You'll be almost 38 times better because of the power of compound growth. On the other hand, if you get 1% worse every day, by skipping workouts, making excuses, avoiding responsibility, you don't just stay the same, you decline. The difference between success and failure is simply a series of small choices made over time. A person doesn't suddenly fail, they fail by making small negative choices daily. They hit the snooze button one too many times, they skip the gym one too many times, they put off learning new skills one too many times, and eventually they find themselves stuck wondering how they got there. But the opposite is also true. A person doesn't suddenly succeed, they succeed by making small positive choices daily. They wake up on time, they take a few extra minutes to learn something new, they put in a little more effort than required. And before they know it, they are miles ahead of where they used to be. Now here's what makes small improvements so powerful. They are easy to do. Anyone can read 10 pages a day. Anyone can save a few dollars. Anyone can do a short workout. The challenge is staying consistent. Most people underestimate what they can achieve in a year and overestimate what they can achieve in a day. They want results immediately, and when they don't see them, they quit. But those who stay the course, those who commit to small, daily improvements, are the ones who eventually see the biggest transformations. The key is to focus on progress, not perfection. You don't need to be the best right away. You just need to be better than yesterday. Small steps forward, repeated over time, lead to results that are far greater than most people ever imagine. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Too many people see failure as a dead end, as a reason to stop, as proof that they're not good enough. But the truth is, failure is simply feedback. It is life's way of showing you what doesn't work so you can adjust, improve, and try again with better knowledge. Think about how a child learns to walk. They fall hundreds of times, but they don't sit down and say, maybe walking isn't for me. No, they keep getting up, adjusting their balance and trying again, and eventually they succeed. This is how growth works in every area of life. Yet somewhere along the way, people start fearing failure instead of learning from it. The most successful people in history have failed more times than most can count. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000,000 times while trying to invent the light bulb. When asked about it, he didn't see it as failure. He said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000,000 ways it won't work." That mindset is why he succeeded. Most people would have quit after 10, 20, or 100 attempts. Failure is a teacher. Every mistake holds a lesson. If you lose money in a business, that failure is teaching you something about finances. If you fail in a relationship, that experience is teaching you something about communication, patience, or understanding. If you mess up on a project at work, that mistake is showing you where you need to improve. The problem isn't failure. The problem is when people fail to learn from failure. Many people give up too soon because they see failure as permanent. But failure is never final unless you decide to stop trying. If you view failure as proof that you're not good enough, you'll stay stuck. But if you see it as a lesson, as a stepping stone, as part of the process, then every failure becomes a tool that helps you get better. Look at sports. The greatest athletes lose more games than they win. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, talked openly about his failures. He said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot 26 times and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." He didn't let failure stop him. He used it as motivation to improve. The same principle applies to business, relationships, and personal growth. If you try something and fail, it doesn't mean you should quit. It means you should adjust. It means you've learned something valuable that will help you in your next attempt. The most dangerous mindset is thinking that failure means you are not capable. The reality is, failure is what makes you capable, because every failure teaches you something that success never could. Most people let failure define them. They take it personally. They say, I failed, so I must not be good enough. But the truth is, failure is just an event, not a reflection of your worth. 1 failure, 10 failures, even 100 failures. None of them define you unless you let them. What defines you is whether you keep going despite those failures. In terms of, can I get a stroller for it? When's your moment? People who succeed are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who fail, learn, and keep moving forward. They analyze what went wrong, adjust their approach, and try again with better understanding. They refuse to let setbacks turn into stop signs. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't isn't talent, luck, or intelligence. It's the ability to fail, learn, and keep moving forward. The moment you stop seeing failure as the end and start seeing it as part of the journey, everything changes. The people you spend time with shape your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your future. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly being influenced by those around you. Their attitudes, their beliefs, and their level of ambition all have an impact on your own. That's why one of the most important decisions you will ever make is choosing who you allow into your life. Look at any successful person, and you will find that they are surrounded by people who push them to be better. They don't waste time with negative, lazy, or unmotivated individuals. They understand that their environment plays a major role in their success. So they intentionally place themselves around those who inspire growth. Now, think about this. If you spend time with 5 motivated, disciplined, and goal-oriented people, what do you think will happen? You will naturally start to adopt their habits. You will start thinking bigger. You will start expecting more from yourself. On the other hand, if you spend time with 5 people who complain all day, make excuses, and avoid responsibility, you will absorb those habits as well. You rise or fall to the level of those around you. This is why many people struggle to grow. They are surrounded by the wrong influences. They might have big dreams, but if they spend all their time around people who doubt them, discourage them, or laugh at their ambitions, that negativity will hold them back. Even the strongest minds can be dragged down by constant negativity. The truth is, not everyone in your life is meant to go where you are going. Some people are comfortable with staying the same, and if you try to improve, they will resist it, not because they don't want you to succeed, but because your growth forces them to confront their own lack of progress. When you start leveling up, you will notice 2 types of people: those who encourage you and those who try to pull you back down. This is where tough decisions must be made. If someone is constantly draining your energy, filling your mind with doubt, or keeping you stuck in old habits, you have to ask yourself, is this person helping me grow or holding me back? It doesn't mean you have to cut everyone out of your life, but it does mean you need to be intentional about who you give your time and energy to. Some relationships will have to change. If you are serious about growth, you cannot afford to spend hours around people who don't share your drive. That doesn't mean you look down on them, it just means you have different priorities. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. Find those who make you think bigger, work harder, and push beyond your limit. One of the fastest ways to improve is to get around people who are already where you want to be. If you want to be successful in business, spend time with entrepreneurs. If you want to be healthy, spend time with people who take care of their bodies. If you want to develop a strong mindset, spend time with those who think positively and take action. It's not about cutting everyone off. It's about making intentional choices about who you allow to influence you. If the people around you aren't helping you grow, it's time to find those who will. Inspiration is powerful. It can light a fire inside you, make you feel unstoppable, and fill your mind with exciting possibilities. But inspiration alone is useless if it doesn't lead to action. Too many people get caught up in motivation, watching videos, reading books, and feeling energized by great ideas. Yet they never do anything with that energy. They feel inspired for a moment, but then they go back to their old habits, waiting for the next burst of motivation. Success doesn't come from inspiration. It comes from taking action. Think about it. How many times have you heard a powerful speech, read an amazing book, or watched a video that made you think, that's it, I'm going to change my life, only to do nothing about it? This is the trap most people fall into. They confuse feeling inspired with making real progress. But nothing changes until you take action. The truth is, action is what separates those who succeed from those who simply dream. Inspiration feels good, but action produces results. You can have the best ideas, the best plans, and the best intentions, but if you don't take steps forward, nothing will happen. Most people wait. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until the conditions are just right. But waiting is the enemy of progress. There is never a perfect moment to start. There is never a time when everything will be easy and comfortable. The only way to get started is to start. This is why small actions matter. You don't have to figure everything out right away. You don't have to have the perfect strategy. You just need to take the first step. If you want to start a business, start researching, making calls, or testing ideas. If you want to get in shape, start by walking, doing a few push-ups, or improving your diet. If you want to learn a skill, pick up a book, sign up for a course, or practice for just a few minutes a day. The biggest mistake people make is believing they need to be motivated before they take action. The truth is, motivation comes after action. The moment you start doing something, your mind shifts. You feel a sense of progress. You build momentum. And once momentum kicks in, it becomes easier to keep going. Think about someone who wants to get in shape, but doesn't feel like exercising. If they sit around waiting for motivation, nothing happens. But if they decide to do just 5 minutes of exercise, something changes. Their heart starts pumping, their body warms up, and suddenly they feel like doing more. That's how action fuels motivation. But here's what stops most people: fear and overthinking. They analyze too much. They worry about failing. They wonder if they're doing it right. And instead of moving forward, they get stuck in their own thoughts. Overthinking kills action. The best way to beat fear is to take the first step, no matter how small. Action also builds confidence. The more you do, the more you believe in yourself. Confidence doesn't come from wishing, it comes from experience. When you take action, even if you fail, you learn something, and that learning makes you better for the next attempt. The world is full of people with great ideas, but ideas alone don't create success. Execution does. The people who achieve their goals are not always the smartest, the most talented, or the most prepared. They are simply the ones who took action when others hesitated. If you want change in your life, stop waiting for inspiration and start doing. Success, growth, and transformation are not the results of wishful thinking. They come from consistent action, intentional choices, and the willingness to learn from every experience. It all begins with a deep desire to improve, followed by small, consistent steps that compound over time. Failure is not a setback, it's a lesson. The people you surround yourself with will either push you forward or hold you back. So choose wisely. And most importantly, don't just seek inspiration, take action. Because in the end, the ones who succeed are not the ones who had the best ideas, the most motivation, or the easiest path, but the ones who showed up, put in the effort, and kept moving forward no matter what.